Mission Mullins was a ministry that was born out of tragedy. In 2016, Hurricane Matthew came to Mullins and brought massive flooding. We're a church of 100 families. 18 of our families who were either attending our church or were members of our church were directly impacted by the floods of Hurricane Matthew. And many of those 18 families lost everything. And so the rest of us who were not impacted directly, we had to do something. Because you couldn't go to your home, your nice, comfortable home, and sit down in your nice, comfortable chair, knowing that your brother and your sister that you sit beside every Sunday in church, they don't have a home to go to anymore. And we didn't know what to do at first, so we called Mission to North America, and Mission to North America sent a disaster relief team here. They were here within the week, and they walked us through the process of rebuilding. They provided financial assistance for our people. They recruited volunteers from all throughout the PCA to come in, and there are some good people in the PCA. So when I say it was a ministry that was born of tragedy, that really was what happened. We've had partnerships with local churches that we didn't have before that have come out of this, and that's expanded our ministry and multiplied our impact in this community.
I think our church is so missional because we were impacted by these hurricanes, and we realized the opportunity we have to serve those around us because we needed to be served. We needed people to come help us, and so through that we realized we could help those around us. Mission Mullins is a ministry of Mullins Presbyterian Church, but it really is just a group of churches, gospel-centered churches coming together to serve the needs of our community. We do that through simple acts of service, like we might build a wheelchair ramp for somebody, we might repair your porch, we might paint your house, we might do some work at a local park or a local school. But we do all that to build a bridge, to build a relationship so that we might be able to share the gospel and to share the hope that we have.
Churches come, usually the second week of June is our focused mission week for Mission Mullins. We set that aside every year. We partner with a local wildlife camp here in our area, beautiful camp. They let us use their facility to house our volunteers. We have a lot of our meals down at Wildlife Action. We welcome these teams from all across the PCA. We've had teams from Virginia, from Florida, from Delaware, all across our denomination.
I put a big green sign up in front of the motel that said Kings Court Homeless Shelter. And a nice lady came by and she wanted to know what we were doing. And I explained to her what we were doing. And she said, well, I got some friends. We'll come and we'll read to the children in the after-school program. So they started coming to read. Then they said, well, we want you to meet these people from Mission Mullins. And they said they were going to come and paint our room for the kids to read in. They renovated the building and it gave those children something that they could be proud of. Mission Mullins, it has impacted not only my life, but the lives of many children here in Mullins and the people in the community who see what has happened and they ask me, who did this? Who did this? First I said, God did it. He did it through those people who came over to help us.
It's a blessing from God, what it is. I'm not able to physically do hard labor anymore because of past injuries. My mama is in a wheelchair and my mother-in-law is in a wheelchair, and when they come over, trying to get them up these steep steps in a wheelchair is kind of hard because I'm not able to do what I used to do. They love the Lord. That's the main thing. They love the Lord and they want to help people and show God's love through them by doing this.
The main purpose of Mission Mullins is, of course, the salvation of our city. We love the acts of service. We love to do these for those in need. But at the end of the day, we hope that people will know Jesus. We hope to see the salvation of our city to those who are walking in darkness, that they would see the light of Jesus and that they would come to a saving faith in Him. That's the reason we do this. It's not just the work, it's not just the acts, but it's the salvation of those around us.
Inverness Presbyterian Church is a church in a revitalization stage. We're in a community in the greater Baltimore area called Dundalk that's in Baltimore City on the port and in the Baltimore County. It was a community built around a steel plant. It boomed this community back in the past, but that steel plant closed about 20 years ago, and even leading up to that, the community has been in decline. Difficulties in the community with broken homes. It's the highest mental illness in Baltimore County, the highest drug addiction in Baltimore County. Just the other day, we had a young man come to church who I had to take right to the hospital because he was so strung out on heroin. And it's the reality of our community, and it's impacted the families, the churches. The drugs are real, the difficulties are real, the brokenness is real. We're a community, a church trying to reach that, not run from it and flee, but to engage it. And we can't do it alone. And so we are seeking to create partnerships with MNA to bring more laborers for the harvest, to bring short-term teams here to do service evangelism, impact the community.
Baltimore Sports Academy focuses on under-resourced communities, and we partner with churches providing holistic sports program that helps athletes become complete athletes with strong bodies, minds, and spirits. We do that through after-school programming, sports leagues, and summer camps. We also help them develop a confident mindset, and we address their spirits as well through the gospel and through Christian devotions. Short-term missions trips are another great way for other churches outside of this Baltimore area to get involved. The Inverness is one of our partner churches. We do a 6-week summer camp. We provide a lot of different ways for people to get involved by assisting with coaching, helping with tutoring, sharing devotions, serving lunch, just hanging out with the kids, getting to know them and their families. We have a church coming in all the way from Tennessee, a PCA church, will be coming next summer.
The revitalization here at Inverness is first and foremost to maximize our people, to have them spiritually grow and to have them using their spiritual gifts to do service in the community and to love one another and to love the community. Secondly is we have a property here that was an old bowling alley. We need to maximize this property. And we have great facilities here with showers, with kitchens, with even we got bunk beds put in to be able to host short-term teams. With the age of our congregation, with the dynamics of the changing community, we are a mission field with short-term teams, with investment into Mission Baltimore, and together we can change this community, revitalize this church, revitalize this community.
This church has a long history. I came here and really discovered the depths of the gospel here. This area has such a great need, and there's so many opportunities to serve the Lord. Where I live, about 35 minutes away, in an affluent suburb, I could have stayed there and been quite comfortable. But the Lord has so much work to be done here. I felt compelled to be here weekly to help out.
Short-term missions is an opportunity for God to take believers out of their comfort zone and their daily life. God wants to do a work in your heart, and He can't do that work in your heart if things are in your control and according to your plan. And so He'll disrupt your plans, and in order to, He's going after your heart as well as the people that are serving on those short-term teams in those communities. And so honestly, you really can't experience the love of Christ unless your heart is turned upside down. So often in our work, in our churches, it can be duty, but it's not motivated by genuine love. So this is kind of what I see as short-term missions is a catalyst for long-term ministry.